Hi friends, welcome to the Cat Scrappiness YouTube channel. We would love to have you subscribe if you aren't already a subscriber and click that bell to get notifications every time we upload a new video. I'm Kim and I'm here to share a fun Mini Slimline card today with a bunch of the new goodies that were just released in June and a few old goodies that I love to play with. So I will apologize, my hands are a mess. I'm refinishing my kitchen cabinets this week, so I'm just covered in paint, and so I apologize for that. Hopefully it won't be too distracting. Here are some of the things I'm playing with. I love this Flutter By stamp and die set. You can see here the new stitched leaves set, and I have a couple of these leaf die sets, but this one is really different because it's got that stitch detail and it's fantastic. This is an older set that I have, and I'm going to use that Hello die. It's this stitched reverse mini scallop frame dies. This is new, and I'm going to be using, this is the Lattice. It's a stitched lattice frame die, and it's a mini slimline size. I love it. I love that rectangle in the center because it gives you lots of real estate to play with. I pulled out the Valentine Quokkas because I was thinking about using the Thinking of You stamp. It's one of my favorite sentiments to put on a card, so I pulled that out quite a bit. I've also got the new Layered Bubbles stamps or stencil set, and this is a 3 layered stencil set, so I'm looking forward to playing with that, and I'm going to start with that actually. I also have some die cuts that I had left over. These are the stitched strips dies. I've got a bunch of leaf of those leaf dies in different colors and that hello sentiment, so I'm definitely going to be adding some of those to my card for sure because I love them. So I'm actually going to start with this Layered Bubble Stencil set, and there are 3 stencils here, and I want to line them up the way they come in the package, not necessarily in that particular order, but I want to make sure I'm lining all the stencils up in the same way. So I'm pulling out this little L-shaped piece I have here, and I'm putting some magnets, some really heavy duty magnets on top of it because the magnets on that little angle piece there don't really hold it well. My glass mat actually has a magnet on the back. It's actually magnetic, so I'm going to use some larger magnets to hold that in place because I'm using that to line up my stencils. Now I did pull out some Concord and 9th inks. I love this color combination. I don't know why. I just love it. I'm using I'm using my Spellbinders Best Ever Craft Tape here to hold my paper in place, and I'm just lining everything up the way that I want to use it. So you can see I'm lining the stencil up specifically with that little angle magnet that I have there, and that will allow me to align all 3 stencil layers in the exact same way over my paper. My paper's held in place with that tape. So I pulled out the honeysuckle. This is such a pretty color, and I'm going to almost do sort of an ombre effect here, and I don't need to cover the whole piece because I'm using that mini slimline size, but it's hard to contain myself because I really love these stencils. I think the bubbles are just so much fun. So you can see that it's darker at the top, and I'm not inking my brush again, and I'm letting it get lighter and lighter as I go down. So I kept going back to the top of the stencil just to pick up some of the ink that's on the stencil. So my second color is the aqua color, and this is a really pretty, almost kind of a, it's almost kind of like a greenish blue. And I am using these little brushes from Cat Scrappiness. I really like these little brushes actually, and for the honeysuckle, I picked up the wrong one. I have a couple of brushes that I got somewhere else, and I don't like them as much as the ones from Cat Scrappiness. So I always can tell the difference when I'm using it. The Cat Scrappiness ones have longer bristles and they're softer and easier to use. I also think the brush itself is a little bit skinnier. It's like holding a pencil or a marker, and I really like that. So here you can see I'm putting on my third color, which is going to be the Sprout Green. It's a really nice yellow green, and I love yellow green. I don't know why, if it's just spring, I've been in the mood for it. But here you can see I've lined up my stencil in the exact same place I lined up the others, so that I feel like I'm lining the stencils up the way they were designed to be used, so that the bubbles overlap and it looks so pretty. I just love how dense the bubbles are. I think it's really fun. So I'm trying to keep the top bubbles darker and the bottom bubbles lighter. And I have one little bubble that didn't quite poke out, so I'll take a craft tool or one of my pick tools and just pop out the plastic there and make sure I get that one colored in. And I just think this is such a fun stencil. So you can see I love the variety of sizes of the circles there, and I love how they overlap. I think that's super fun. So there you go. That's what it looks like. And I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to cut this down. I've got that Stitch Lattice Mini Slimline die there. I'm going to die cut that. I put it on some nice pink, like rosy pink cardstock that I have, a scrap of that. I'm cutting off this piece of white because I want to stamp my butterflies, and I can die cut those. I'm going to do all my cutting and die cutting all at the same time. So I'm pulling out the Fluttering By butterflies. There's 3 butterflies in this set, and they're different sizes. And this is actually a layered stamp set. So there are the 2 smaller butterflies have 2 layers. The larger one has 3. I'm only going to use 2 layers for the larger one. You could use these butterflies without the second layer if you wanted to. You could actually use the inside layers if you wanted to. Here I'm just trying to decide what color I want to do, and I pulled out the Midnight ink. Now, Cat Scrappiness had these inks from Concord and 9th. You could buy the entire set. There were 22 ink pads. The colors are beautiful. I just love them. I love using them. I think they're really pretty colors. A lot of them are soft, or here in this case you can see this is a deep, vibrant color. And I haven't used this color too much, but I really like this for the butterflies. So I'm going to put that top layer on, and my heat tool is actually being used to remove the, my cabinets are actually thermofoil cabinets, which is like a vinyl over MDF. So they're heavy duty cabinets, and they're very old. So I want to remove that layer of thermofoil, and I've been using my heat tool to do that. So that is not anywhere near me. So I'm being lazy here. And I pulled out some white pigment ink, and that's what I'm using for the top of this. And I really like the way that came out. I think it looks really nice over that deep blue. So I'm going to go ahead and tape my dies on here and run all of my stuff through my die cutting machine and get my card base cut and do all of that. Here I have all of the bits. Here is that Lattice Mini Slimline die. I love that rectangle in the center. So I've trimmed down that piece I stenciled to put in the center there, and it fits perfectly in there. I like the colors that I used along with this scrap of, it's almost like a rosy pink. I have no idea where I got it from, and I only have a few sheets left, but I think it looks really pretty with this color combination. So my card base is cut at 7 1/4 by 6 1/8. So I just have a little peak of white around the edges, and you could use this, you could do a shaker card if you wanted to, like with that lattice die there, and have some shaker bits behind there if you wanted to. I'm using a couple of the lime green or yellowy green florals that I already had cut out using that new stitched leaf die set. I love this die set. Absolutely love it. There's so many ways you can use these particular dies. I have so many videos on my channel on using a nice set of leaf dies. I just have so many ideas and so many ways I've used them in the past. I'm trying to put these so that they almost are going to frame out this hello die that I've used. And again, that's the stitched reverse scallop mini slimline die set that came from. I didn't use the shadow die that goes with it. I just used the hello. I already had that all cut out, and I like my sentiments in black. It just makes them pop out so much. I decided I wanted to add some foam dots to the back of the butterflies, and I'm only going to use 2 butterflies. I'm going to use the large one and the small one, and the medium one will be saved for another project. And on my table here, you can also see the little triangle pieces that came out of that lattice die when I die cut it. I saved those because you could take, like I could die cut this out of another color or several other colors, and then inlay those triangles back into the lattice piece and have almost a beautiful stained glass effect. So that's a really fun technique. I love inlaid die cutting, and I think this die is perfect for that. So I've got my butterflies both popped up on some foam, and I'm pulling out my Cat Scrappiness embellishment organizers. I've got 2 now because I have so many embellishments from Cat Scrappiness that I spilled over into a second container, and I love them. I use them all the time. These are really pretty lemon jewels, and I'm going to put 5 of these on, and I added those with liquid glue, and that is my card. I'll put all the links to the products below. I would love it if you give this video a thumbs up and check out all the good new stuff from Cat Scrappiness. Thank you so much for watching, friends. Have a wonderful day.